Without whistleblowers and whistleblowing, I usually say we are nothing. Whistleblower protection has a very positive and beneficial impact to the broader fight against corruption, in the sense that it improves the opportunity to fight against corruption. It gives confidence to those who have information that will lead to the detection of corruption and, of course, the recovery of looted goods looted through corruption. It is an incentive in its very own sense to encourage people to be comfortable about coming forward, so that they will be confident that they will not be harmed or be exposed to danger by those who they would be reporting against. So in that way, it's a very big catalyst, if I can call it, to the fight against corruption.
Whistleblowers often face personal risks, which range from retaliation, wrongful arrests, and in some instances even death. And it is unfortunate that the current legislation that we have as Zimbabwe does not protect whistleblowers.
If you speak against your boss who is corrupt, the next thing is that you lose employment. They might not be able to say you have lost your job because you have reported, but they will find an excuse to remove you from the organization. So a number of workers, I think, they feel unprotected every time they think of reporting these practices.
With regards to laws and the policies, whether or not they are adequate to protect women at their workplaces when they disclose certain issues that are related to corruption, I would say they are not that adequate. But the starting point is that our laws and our policies are gender neutral. They don't speak specifically to women. So you look, when you're looking at a workplace setup, we are talking about the Labour Act and its statutory instruments, in as far as it talks about unfair labour practices and other criminal provisions that are within the Labour Act scenario.
Under Section 14 of the Prevention of Corruption Act, it provides for the protection of witnesses. There are also witnesses who are not whistleblowers, and there are also whistleblowers who are not witnesses. Therefore, it is very important for Zimbabwe to now adopt a standalone whistleblower protection legislation.
So there is no adequate protection in our view, hoping that the current discussions, the law that there is under discussion will have that provision to protect the people that are reporting corrupt practices.
It would be good if we actually have a prohibition from people going back to work, that they are suspended.
What is lacking is a law that speaks to whistleblowers or witness protection. Whistleblower protection framework, which is very clear and very specific about outlawing retaliation or threatening witnesses or whistleblowers at a workplace situation.
I think ZCTU has been in the forefront to condemn the corrupt practices initially, but we have gone further to say, let's look across the borders and see what type of measures are there, what type of legislation is available. So we have been complaining to the officials to put the legislation that then protects the workers that are witnessing this and reporting this, so that we can get rid of the practice.
Without information about possible corruption, it's actually totally impossible for the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission to fulfill one of its mandates, which is the detection and the holding to account, to having those who are suspected of corruption and those who are therefore then hopefully found guilty of corruption to be brought to book. So without whistleblowers and whistleblowing, I usually say we are nothing. We absolutely depend on information that we receive. And so what we have been doing is that from the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission itself, platforms and facilities for members of the public who believe they have information that can lead to the detection of corruption, and also to the very importantly, the recovery of ill-gotten gains from corruption to come forward. We have set up telephonic means to report.
On the recent approval by Cabinet of whistleblower protection, what needs to be understood is that fraud and corruption are basically crimes of deception. So what is needed is we need people who must tip off police officers, investigating officers. We will need people who will give evidence in court. We also need people who will be able to give quality evidence. And with that in mind, we believe that it will lead to a very successful prosecution rate.